Let's see what Sean Holley made of it all. He's been very busy up at his stat pad. Sean, what you got for us?
Well, this performance was built on a lot of resilience, passion, heart, as Shank said. Still plenty of work on, that's for sure, in attack, as Jiffy said. But just the fundamentals were better than Ireland's. Let's have a little look. You know, certainly the urgency at the tackle area was a massive improvement. You see, backs and forwards, they spread the load, going beyond the ball, not overloading with too many players, getting the ball a little bit better. They had this latch on with the forwards. The front five worked tirelessly, just driving Scotland back. And you can see now in the wider areas with Liam, look at this clean-up from Lewis Rees-Zammit. He has to get the scrum, Darcy Graham, he has to get him, and he does so superbly. They forced penalties because of this. Will Rowlands did a lot of work. Look at him just leading on Gilchrist, milks a penalty. You see him again here now. He just on the floor subtly holds in Johnny Gray. That's enough to give us another penalty. And then Adam Beard on the next one, very smart on the inside clean. Just holds the tackler so he can't wriggle away. Referee gives a penalty. That one led to our try. But the ball carrying was better. Not pretty. Dan Bigger leading from the front, you know, just fending off and saying, I'm going forward. But we did see a little bit of footwork. Ross Moriarty saw none of this last week. It just allows him to get across the gain line, offload, puts Thomas Williams in a little bit of space, another offload. You know, we need to see a little bit more of this. We didn't find the edge too many times. We know Wayne Pivac, Stephen Jones want to get these back rowers in the 15. When they did on the odd occasion, got some yards. And I'd like to see Thomas Williams do a little bit more of this. Keep the opposition front five honest, close to the ruck. Nice little interplay. Look at the overlap. We didn't get out there very much, but improvisation. Jack Morgan was always willing in that wide area to make some yards, but only one line break. But all that possession and carry by the front five, it does reap rewards in terms of penalties. And then Finn Russell's yellow card. And yet, there's development needed. Look at the shape. What is the shape? What are the options? Well, again, the only option really is Wyn Jones out the back or Thomas Francis up front. That's easy pickings for good defences. So there's still a lot of work to do here. Tame Basham carries, falls on the outside for Thomas Williams. But look, we've got four guys running into the same channel. You know, a lack of organisation from our centres there. Nobody really an option out the back is a little bit concerning. So that's where the development is. And they all sort of get in each other's way. You know, Jack Morgan is holding that position. That's the shape they want, but he rarely got it. And our back three were given licence to roam. Alex Cuthbert's over on the right, Lewis Rees-Zammit there, Liam Williams is there. All our back three are in this area, which is fine if we go to them, but if we make the wrong decision, then they don't get the ball. You know, our best ball carriers are out of position. And on this occasion, when they go to the wide channel and get it out wide where there's space, Owen Watkin is the widest guy. There's no back three player out to finish it off, and he gets cut down. So there's still plenty of work to do here. You know, again, you'll see here now, good quick ball, but Alex Cuthbert is almost in the way. He's playing 10, then he gets bashed by Dan Bigger. You know, it's frustration from Nick Tompkins. So this is a key area, and the frustration came out in Dan Bigger. But his decisions and his leadership, he drove it. He went for the corner here. He gets asked, are you sure? He says, too right, let's go there. Backed his players, backed himself, and that reaped Wales' only try. The set piece was excellent. We'll talk a bit more about that later on. You know, he was pretty inspirational, his 100th Test cap. He's got criticised for this. All right, and, you know, maybe rightly so, but he has the courage of his convictions. He wanted to get in the lead. He said, are there many options for him? Really? They could have had a free shot, but he just wanted to get the lead and back his mates. He even bossed the fourth official. Look, hey, mate, I'm staying on, so I got one more kick to make, and what a kick it was. His contribution was immense. He's a national treasure on his 100th Test. And I want to ask Jiffy, because, Jiff, you've played there at 10 for Wales and been captain, probably the most difficult position. What's your opinion of Dan's performance?
Oh, I think he drove the performance yesterday. You know, you could say in his emotion after when he said one of his best wins ever, that comes because of pressure. You know, that's from the back of last week and the build-up in the week and how important this game was in the context of the whole competition.
Right then, hopefully Josh is there. He's arrived with Sean, and they're going to talk about a few things to work on before Twickenham in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, a couple of different things. Josh is with me now. We've picked out a couple of areas, Josh. We can get a bit more insight. The first one is the set piece. 100% in the scrum, 100% in the line-out. Let's start with the scrum. 4 out of 4 only, but a lot of pressure on the Scottish scrum, isn't it?
Yeah, it was massive. Just having 4 out of 4, getting the penalties as a forward back and as a front row even. Just getting that penalty and getting back down there is massive from the back.
And, you know, but it was one of the areas they were good at in Ireland, to be fair to them, and put pressure on the Scottish scrum as well. So credit has got to go, tip of the hat to John Humphreys and co. Now, line out, 12 out of 12, you know, 100%. They've become under a lot of pressure. A lot of them were 6-man plus 1 line outs. You know, good tactic.
Yeah, it's just, we want to get in the game, just get in early, get the driving line out going with the 6+1, and just 12 out of 12 is massive. Just to release the backs and get that platform and get that go forward is huge. And to get the try as well, Tom Francis getting over as a pack. You pride yourself when you're in the 22. Let's get over that line and let's convert it into points.
Yeah, and they also pressurised Scotland really, really well. Scotland were 100% last week in their game against England, renowned line-out team, but they really put them under pressure.
Yeah, well, they would have spoken the week about just getting bodies in the air and spoiling Scotland's ball, because they do have the breakout, and obviously Scotland's back line, they're massive attacking threat. So the more ball we can stop there, slow them down, and obviously spoil it doesn't free up them.
Yeah, so 55% territory, a lot of it born out of that sort of line-out defence. So that's a second area now, Josh. I know you're big in this area, is the defence, all right? So let's take a little look at that. You know, much improved, still 25 missed tackles, but only 1 try conceded, only 8 penalties, and it was much, much better. They corralled the wingers especially, didn't they?
Yeah, it's massive, just stopping them in the wide channels, and the boys just putting pressure and getting off the line. Like, the pack kept putting pressure on Finn Russell, driving them back and always putting them on the back foot so they couldn't get into the game, because at times Scotland did look lost when we were getting up again in their faces and not letting them go anywhere. And it was just good. Like, I know Gethin would have been into them about the line speed, getting off the line, and just see here, it shows how much it means to the boys. Like, everyone's flying up, getting in the passing lanes and spoiling the ball, and they took, well, 10 yards where they started from in the line out.
A lot of this is attitude and pride as well, isn't it? That started on the 10-metre line. Look where they end up from this carry now with Nell, you know, and they're not overcommitting here. They file into position. It goes back to Finn Russell. Have a look at the gain line that they gained there. So tremendous work in terms of defence, and it wasn't just the line speed and the organisation. It was the individual things like this from Lewis Rees-Zammit. But I know an area you're really big at. There were 4 or 5 key turnovers that meant a lot to Wales.
Yeah, it just shows that Liam Williams in your 22, it just relieves the pressure and doesn't get Scotland into attack. And then same again, just 22 area where Scotland are looking to build pressure, they stop them. And then Dylan Lewis coming off the bench, and do you mean this is near the end of the game, and just getting that pressure, and then Biggs puts it into the corner. And then just the last play of the game just shows how hard the boys are working. There'd be tired bodies out there, and just get that penalty at the end makes it a lot easier. Yeah,
21 phases and in overtime as well. Josh, great insight, thanks.
Let's see what Sean made of it all. Sean, you've been busy. What did you see?
I've been busy, Kat. This was a ding-dong affair. I'm going to concentrate on France to have a look at what's coming. Lots to look at, but I've cut it down, first of all, to their ball carry. 61% quick ball, nearly 70% gain line dominance. And why? Because they got big guys like Antonio, who's a tight head, running in the midfield, and he can carry. Fico gets involved. He acts as another forward, but they love getting these carriers in. Aldrit is fantastic. They're not afraid to go to like a little old-fashioned pick and go, particularly when they get on the front foot like this. The hookers are really dynamic, both the starters and off the bench. Cyril Bay, the loose head. Willems, big carriers. Jalancia. They've got lots of firepower with Walkie as well. So, you know, we've got to be at our best when we play France. And Ireland couldn't cope with that speed of ball, even on turnover, which is difficult. Look at Antonio. He was a wrecking ball yesterday. But look at the speed. Dupont, Bay crashes over. They just can't regather. You know, that's coming. They've got Jaminet, who's a superb goal kicker and just ticks the scoreboard over. But this is what I want everybody to see. The best player in the world, Antoine Dupont. This is the first minute. He's involved in everything France do. Quick ball, gets Dante out on the outside. He's running that cheat line that we always see. Here it is for the try. He knows, he sniffs it. He runs that little cheat line on the outside and pounces to score. He's so quick. He's involved in quick taps. He's involved in the defence, spotting up. We saw Wales have trouble with that, didn't we? The pass behind from Ireland. Here he is, just marshalling everybody, waiting for slow infold on that side, and through he goes. The fend, the strength. For a little guy, a diminutive guy, he's quick and powerful. There he is in the defensive line, spotting up. That's where they would have watched against Wales to cut off Ireland. And in the backfield, he's almost like having Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi in your team all as one. He does everything. He just moves Van der Fleer. He's got a great kicking game. He's everything. He's on the short side here, hounding down and creating turnover. You know, let's hope we can pin Antoine Dupont down or corral him, or, you know, dare I say he's injured when he comes to Cardiff, but he's instrumental. France looked really, really ominous. Ireland were good, not quite good enough.